A new decade and a new you. Why not start your new journey in Veganuary? Veganuary is a nonprofit that started in the UK in 2014, and it's soon to launch its campaign in the US in 2020. The purpose of Veganuary is for people to try veganism. When you first start out, you'll sign a pledge. You'll get all kinds of support emails, whether it's different restaurants to try, different recipes, different products. Why not challenge yourself? I'm Angela Yvonne, and this is Vegan Pop Eats. From the South, the tradition is you have to eat barbecue. And finding good barbecue is extremely hard. But imagine being a vegan. But I think I have found my space. Honeybee is located at 95 Avenue A in New York City, has an amazing list of barbecue items and also a sexy, sexy, sexy bourbon and rye list. I think I found my place. And also, I have a guest with me, Andrea Rachel. She is known for being on Power, she was on The Deuce, and she was Mama Ganja on Wu Tang, the American Saga. And the best thing at all, she is vegan. Let's eat. I am here with Andrea Rachel. You know her from Power, The Deuce, Wu Tang American series, and she is here with us on Vegan Pop Eats. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you for having me.
I really appreciate it. So you are a vegan. Tell me about your journey becoming a vegan, and how long have you been one?
I've been vegan now for going on 10 years.
Wow.
And I didn't try to become vegan, so that's something that happened along the way. Mm-hmm. When I became vegan, it was more so just like the things that were around me that I just no longer had an appetite for. So like eggs and fish, that was a thing that kind of made me go, I don't want to really eat that. And then maybe 2 years prior, I had already like leaned off of dairy.
Right.
So the fact that I leaned off of dairy and I started feeling better, by the time I stopped eating the eggs and the fish, it was just kind of like a thing that I was doing because I just didn't want it. Mm-hmm. And I never planned on not eating it ever again. It was more so like, I'm just the type of person, like when I feel for something, then I'll do it. And then if I don't feel for it, then I won't do it. And so it just never came back up. And then I finally like went to a family event where all they had was like a lot of different fish, and I was like, oh, I don't eat fish right now. And they're like, well, what do you eat? What can we give you? And that's when I realized, oh, this is a big deal. Like, this is a big shift in my family also, and my friends, being that we're all like West Indian. And so like, I decided to do more research, and as I met people who were vegan, and as I learned about veganism even being a thing, and who came up with the term, and you know, like, I started to realize like, oh, Ital food is vegan food. And I was like, oh, duh. So like, this is not something new. This is like, you know? And then I was just like learning about the animals and then the farming, mass farming industry. And then it was like, okay, this feels better for me anyway, so I'm gonna do it. But I was so active that like, I didn't want to cook.
Right.
So I became raw vegan. And raw vegan means like you're not cooking your items. Actually, a lot of the stuff is cold.
Right.
And I learned about myself that I like cooked food.
Right.
Like I like well seasoned cooked food. I don't like cold food. And a lot of times when you go out, the raw foods, they're always like cold or room temperature or something. Right. And it just wasn't my thing. So eventually after like 2 years, I went back to eating cooked foods, just like changing what cooked foods I ate and being very like aware of the ingredients, and you know, starting those conversations at restaurants like, well, does it have dairy? Can we do a substitute? And et cetera, et cetera. But yeah, I never really tried to be vegan. Like that was kind of projected onto me, right? like my family members were like, oh yeah, I was looking at it about being vegan, and I'd be like, okay, yeah,
sounds cool. It sounds cute.
right. And then they're like, yeah, because you're vegan. And I'm like, I guess. Yeah, I never really tried to be like, and then when I sat down, I was like, okay, I'm comfortable with that because it's a lifestyle. So then you end up changing the shampoo, the clothes, you change just everything about your lifestyle, the lotions,
makes you a little bit more conscious of everything.
Purses, yeah. So it was like, okay, this is a badge of honor.
Yes, a badge of honor. What was the most surprising thing that you found out about yourself since you just fell into veganism versus you making a decision that that's the life that you're going to live?
I wasn't. See, it's hard to answer that question because I wasn't expecting anything.
Right.
Like if you watch people who are like doing the veganism journey for a certain amount of time, they have a goal in mind, or they've heard or watched or seen some other type of journey that they want to compare theirs to see like, is this going to happen to them as well? Is it going to be worse? Is it going to be more of, less of? And so for me, I didn't really have that thing to like base it off of. I was learning from people about mainly animals and the farming industry and economics and stuff of that nature, but I wasn't really looking to change much for myself or within myself or even about the farming industry, like because I kind of knew.
Right.
I feel like we all know.
Yeah.
It's just because you have to kind of make sense of things. So when you sit back and you start to ask yourself questions, you come up with your own answers, and it's like, okay, I think we're just so disassociated and detached from a lot of things because it's not right in front of us that like we get to forget.
Right.
We get to just, get away. So I wasn't really like surprised by many things. Like I wasn't surprised by the videos I saw about the animals or about the conditions. I wasn't really surprised about the health switch. I think the biggest curveball that I didn't anticipate would have been like just my family's reaction at first.
Right. Because
we are West Indian,
so
I didn't think it would be a big deal.
But they made it a big deal?
Yeah, it really did become like a talking point every single event, occasion, dinner, holiday. It was a big deal because they were used to serving certain dishes and then trying to accommodate, or if they forgot to accommodate, it was like, well, how do we make up for this? Or, like, well, what do you eat? Like, that's the main question people ask. They go like, what do you eat? Right. So like being Jamaican, and it's a big deal. It's like, okay, well, now I have to explain to my father, like,
why you no longer want oxtails.
Right, and jerk chicken, and what it does to the heart, and like, I'm not judging you, like this is exactly, like, I'm not giving up tradition, or I still respect the culture, or like like just having like different lifestyle choices now like being projected onto them, and like saying like, hey, instead of dairy you could try almond or coconut or mint, hemp or oat or rice or pea. Like these are so many different alternatives, or cashew. And so like those conversations became the hardest, but they only became hard because it required me at the time of my journey to learn more. Exactly. And then it also became very redundant. Right. So when things are redundant, sometimes you're like, oh, I don't want to have this conversation. Eat the meat. Right, like I just don't want to have the conversation. Like, I don't want to go into statistics. I don't want to sit here because I'm gonna sound like the Scrooge. Right. I'm gonna sound like the Scrooge. I'm gonna sound like I want to change you. I'm gonna sound like I'm going to condemn you or something. And that's not my intention. I really feel like you have one life to live, and I really, really care about the animals, and I want the animals to be safe. And I wish that we all knew better. Yeah. But I don't want to spend the rest of my life trying to make you figure that out, because like it's your life. If this is what you want, if this is the havoc you want to cause, go ahead by any means. Like just like I don't want people to smoke cigarettes, but if this is the havoc you choose to cause within your own body, go ahead. I would most definitely prefer not to walk down the street and have to smell and inhale certain things. But if this is what you want to do, go ahead. So that was the most surprising thing. I didn't think it was going to be a big deal, having to bring my own dishes around sometimes, my own snacks, or updating set and production. Yeah. And, like those little things became like the things that I had to get accustomed to and become used to it. Everything else was just a bonus. Like it's a bonus that now I don't feel like I'm doing as much negative to the animals.
Right.
And I feel like it's a bonus that now I get to say, well, I'm putting a little bit more of positivity in the atmosphere by helping the earth. And I feel like there's a little bit of a bonus when I say, okay, I can give information that maybe someone's never received before. But that was just it. Like, initially I did it for no other reason than today I didn't feel like eating eggs and fish, and that was the honest truth. I didn't try to go vegan.
Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Well, stay tuned. We got some food for her. Since she didn't try to be vegan, she gonna.
But I'm picky.
You picky?
I'm so picky.
How are you picky?
I am. I mean, I'm West Indian. We like spice. We like a lot of flavor. We like a lot of good textures.
Oh,
I'm
my
so
goodness.
picky when it comes to food.
Well, we're gonna see if we can get her out of that. Just
Nope.
stay tuned. Okay, she says that she's picky, but this looks amazing. So I'm trying to see if this will change her mind about her picky ways. You can go ahead and dive in, and while you're doing that, tell me a little bit about your acting career so far.
So I would never necessarily order the pulled pork,
Right.
but I'm going to experiment, so that's gonna be the first thing I try.
Okay.
And I'm nervous.
Don't be
So I
nervous.
kind of want you to try first.
Okay.
Yes. Because it's like I don't eat everyone's substitute meat. It has to have a certain texture.
It's good.
Does it taste like pork?
Doesn't really taste like pork. It tastes more like mushrooms.
See, I don't necessarily like mushrooms.
You don't like mushrooms and you're a vegan?
I know.
You tried it.
I did.
You tried it.
Okay.
Go ahead.
So I'll tell you about my acting.
Yeah.
What about it? What would you like to know?
I want to know, like, your like your career. Like, what have you been doing? I know that you've been in the Deuce. I know that
This is really good.
Yeah. See, you tried it. I'm done. I'm done with you.
No, this is really good.
What did you think?
This kind of has like a texture of steak.
Yeah.
You said it was like mushroomy. So I
It
thought
tasted
was
like
gonna be
mushrooms to me. And I'm not going to be cute because y'all know how I do. Bomb.
This don't taste like no mushroom.
Tastes like mushrooms to me. But anyway, go ahead and tell me a little bit about your career because we've seen you.
If this is the mushrooms that you eat, I
Yeah.
don't want them.
Oyster mushrooms taste like that if you cook them correctly.
Really?
Yes.
Because I ain't never had it.
Oh my
But
God.
yes, acting. So
Your latest thing was the Wu Tang series.
yes, on Hulu. Go watch that, please, guys. I play Mama Ganja. Mama Ganja is very sassy and cool, fly, but she's super down to earth, super
Right.
understanding. She's like the love interest to ODB,
Oh.
Old Dirty Bastard's character. So
Not
that was
ODB.
cool. Yeah, and she's like the best friend to the guy Shotgun, who's like Meth's character. So like it was fun. I'm happy just to be a part of the project. I think like they have a huge like story to tell, and I think they were like so impactful in hip hop.
Absolutely.
So like just being a part of like telling that culture, that story, that side, you know, like I was stoked. I like got the news and I was like, yeah, I got it. And that was just because I knew I was gonna be around good energy, and
Right.
literally I was like the moment you get on set, you see the artwork, you like the vibes. Like some days were really long and it's like tedious, and then like you obviously have like the little things as a girl that you hate, like oh my makeup or my hair, like
Right.
something like that. But other than that, like it was a lot of fun. There's a concert scene, and like I got to sit down all day and just watch them rap.
Right.
And I was like, oh, this is lit. This is great. So yeah.
So how long have you been in acting as an actor? Was that your first choice?
I guess so, yeah. It was. I just wasn't always comfortable or confident enough to
taste that.
pursue it. Oh, I'm gonna ruin that. I'm going to.
Like, you
it
have
looks
to-
so good that I'm going to.
You have
just,
to try that.
I'm gonna body it. I know I am. I'm gonna let you have your fun so that
No,
I gotta take the whole thing out.
Oh, you're gonna take the whole thing.
because I know that I'm gonna like. It's like cheesy
Yes.
pasta. That's
And it's hard to find good vegan mac and cheese, but I found several spots.
Oh, do you like seasoned vegan?
Yes. Yeah, I do.
Okay.
But this is really good. It really is. You need to get in here, cause girl.
Yeah, because you look like you're having fun too.
Oh,
So
that's right.
I'm gonna do it.
So what is the out of all of the out of all of your career, throughout your career, which would you say was the best moment for you?
That's a hard question.
That's not a hard question. It could either be that's either, you know, you like the people, you were just like so like, I can't believe that I can be, you know, acting across the stage or acting across in a movie with this person.
I love each thing for like different reasons equally. Do you
So
get
what are
I'm
the
saying?
reasons?
Okay, so yeah. So with Power, that was actually shot before the Deuce. A lot of people don't know that, but it ended up coming out before the Deuce. And so with Power, I didn't expect all of that energy to come with being a part of the show.
Really?
So when I did the first skit that I ever did about it, I didn't think it was gonna get that feedback. And so literally as we kept doing the skits, like just seeing that it became this big thing, this big fun comedic thing to say it's your fault she's dead or it's your fault that this happens. Like when you don't expect that kind of like feedback, it's just like the best thing ever, because now you know people who have seen something that you did, and then you know that you get to have fun with it.
Right.
You know that they appreciate the fun that you had, even if it's like a little tiny speckle of a moment. And so like that gave me the freedom to just have fun in like promotion of something that I did. And I didn't feel like that type of creative freedom behind a project that I was filming in like for a while. So it was like fun to do it. And then I got to do it with people that I went to college with, or that I went to high school with, or you know, that I already had some type of like connection to. So it was bringing us in like in full circle, like okay, like we can utilize each other, and that was like a good thing. And I'm so appreciative for that. But then with the Deuce, it was like from the first day you got on set, you felt like everyone wanted to be your friend.
Right.
Everyone wanted to know you, like they want to establish like a family vibe. And so literally like they used to like go out to different events to support the other cast members, and like they would tell other cast about it, and we'd all make it a big night or a you know thing to do, and that was fun. Or we would go out to eat, or we would have our own events just for us. Like just now they had a Deuce reunion. I missed it.
Oh
like,
wow.
Idiot. But they did have it, and that's the culture that they established, and like within each other, you know what I mean? So like I feel like for the most part I have a good enough connection where if I wanted to like say, hey, how you doing, what's been going on, I can. Like if I see them walking down the street, I feel like more able to say hey, and give them a hug, and you know, like that energy is gonna come back.
So I'm gonna ask you a groupie question.
All right, hold on, because with Wu Tang now Wu Tang, it was just so fly. Like everything about it is fly.
Imagine.
Like I got to sit and talk to RZA. Like what? Like RZA said, I like you on the Deuce. Like what? What?
I would have been like everywhere.
What?
Hey, talk to me. RZA said I was dope on that Deuce.
And then I worked with Meth in the Deuce.
Right.
So
and that's
like,
my groupie question.
I got to come back and see him and work with him again. And this time he's like, yo, you know, you playing my best friend, right? No, she was fly, like yo.
Right.
And then I'm like, it was fly. Like it's just fun, fly, free, cool. Like I wish I was able to be on set more. I wish I would have been able to be, you know, a part of it more, just because that energy. Like even the bromance that you see that they have going on, like that was at the time, like, you know, honestly growing.
Right.
And I think that's so cool that can happen. Like people from all these different walks of life coming. Yeah.
So I'm asking my groupie question.
Oh God.
Is Meth fine in real life?
Is Meth fine in real life? That man is Jesus in real life.
Jesus in real life.
Meth is fine.
I knew he was.
Meth is fine.
I just had to get a cosign.
But he's married.
Oh, I know he's married. No, I'm not listening after no married man. I'm saying that I just wanted to know for sure.
I'm going to say that he still looks like old
touch
school
the
Meth.
helm of his garment.
Look, that's my thing. That's my compliment.
Right.
Black man looks good. You look like God.
You
Lord,
look like God.
You just got called upon the heavens.
Jesus.
And the angels. So that is not to be disrespectful, and that is not to some
No, it didn't come out disrespectful.
Okay. Like,
disrespectful would have been like,
I was just bigging up someone who deserves to be picked up.
That would have been disrespectful.
You know, like he looks like old school Meth still. He's still very healthy, and he's very like conscious of that. Like on set, I don't want to tell you business, but he drinks his juices and stuff.
Absolutely.
So, yeah.
Absolutely.
And I've heard him say that before, so.
Yeah.
This has corn in it.
It's cornbread.
Corn. The actual corn.
Yeah. You've never had cornbread with?
Not with the, look, the kernel.
Where do you be eating that?
Kernel.
I know.
Kernel.
It's cornbread.
No, normally no. We make sure that's not in it.
You don't like cornbread with corn in it?
Of course I do now.
Oh.
I just don't eat it on a regular basis. So they got to do Thanksgiving.
If
That's what they say.
so, 5 years from now, what would you want someone to know about you?
That's broad. I want people to know a lot about me in 5 years.
Well,
But keeping it
as far as your
acting
career,
realm, yeah.
as far as your life.
I want them to know that I'm very passionate about acting. I believe in storytelling. I honestly believe that storytelling can change the world. It can teach you things. It can like open your mind up to things. It can, increase your imagination, provide inspiration, healing, therapy, just seeing like, even if you feel like no one else around you has gone through something, just seeing something that even maybe fictional, like it makes you say, okay, someone thought of this so clearly, I love that with acting, you can be anything that you want to. And so I have a saying that you can be like anything and then nothing at the same time because you're never yourself.
Right.
But you're always something else. A teacher, an astronaut, a gymnast, a dancer, a poet, like whatever you want. So I love the freedom of creating like these new like crazy things, but also like keeping them very grounded and rooted. So I want people to say that as an actress, like not only is she passionate, but she's like constantly growing and evolving and getting better, and like you can see that like she's learning and it's like altering her also.
Okay.
That's really what I want people to say. But as a human, I want them to say that that I'm compassionate, I'm honest, I'm raw, I'm creative, and like ballsy, taking risks. So yeah,
That's it.
I mean, I can go on and on and on. We have a lot of wants, wishes,
I need
desires.
your 30-second pitch, honey.
You don't pitch something like that because as you grow and as you change, your wants and your desires change,
Right, absolutely.
So whereas I'm a kid and I'm like, oh, I want to be a dancer, I want all the lights on me, I'm an adult now and it's just like, I want world peace.
Right.
I really do.
Right.
Like there's certain things that you want that you just can't get back. Like I would prefer my brothers, my grandfather.
Right.
Like there are things like we can go deep, we dive down.
Right. Well,
things. So yeah.
Since you weren't wanting to be a vegan, now that you have been in this life for 10 years, someone was to come to you and say, I'm trying to be a vegan, why should I do it? Why should I do it?
Well, I would say do it for yourself.
Okay.
I always say do things for yourself because you can say it's for the animals, you can say it's for the environment, but really when it comes down to humans, like we have to want these things. And the way to want it, desire it, is that it has to feel like it's really truly affecting or impacting us. And so do it for yourself. Make it up in your head that this is something you really want to do. And once you make that up, everything else kind of falls in line and becomes easy because then there's no excuses as to why it's not working out.
Right.
In my first 2 years I was raw. I realized raw wasn't for me, and then I made the alterations. And even in making those alterations, I ended up having to bring snacks or food. Like I know about myself now that I don't like to have to meal prep and plan, but then if I don't, like I'm gonna be liable to eat this or that.
Right.
And, like it's a good reason to learn yourself. It's a good way to learn yourself. It's a
Absolutely.
good reason to maintain your health, but you just have to want to do it because there are thousands of brands out here now. Something is gonna make you go, oh, I love this, I can do it.
Right.
And with me, I'm big on substitute meats, which is why I said I'm so picky, because I like the texture of something matters to me.
Right.
And it has to be similar to what I grew up on and how I grew up on it. And so like, I spent years going through product after product after product, trying to figure out what I like. And like, a lot of people don't commit to that. They just have a hard time and then they're like, okay, I'm done.
Throw it all away.
Yeah.
And go back to regular life.
Right. And then like they're like, or just, learning what your body needs beforehand. Like for me, I take vitamins.
Yeah.
And some vegans like, oh, you don't need to. I feel better when I take vitamins also.
Right.
I don't have to, and I'm not as consistent, but I do. And I think that's another thing too. Like just don't let other people who are more extreme, like, shape or shift you.
Right.
Don't let them discourage you, don't let them judge you, don't let them be honest with yourself and take your own baby steps, make a plan, and then have an accountability partner or somebody that you trust to help you get through it, and then do it at your own pace. And like this world, sometimes I think with Instagram and Twitter and Facebook, I just think we always have like this timeline
Right.
attached to us that's telling us that we're moving too slow or we're staying stagnant or, you know, we need to go higher or shoot for it. It's just like, when you put all of that stuff away and you just do what's in your own little box, in your own little moment, with your own little time, you get a lot more done.
Absolutely.
And you feel better about it. So I just would say, like, take every opinion here and there with a grain of salt. Do your own research, get your own information, like have people around you that you trust, you know what works for your body. Like I like the vitamins that I take, they're amino acids for the
Right.
most part that I know my body needs. Otherwise, I'll have acne. I'll have this. I'll have, you know, like certain things that I just feel make my body work a little bit better. And then there are tons of vegans who are like, no, you don't need that. All you gotta do is amp up this and amp up that. It's like, you don't know my lifestyle.
You don't know my life.
Right. And you have to be comfortable saying
Right.
that. So I would just say that, like, find your own place, do it, and then get your voice, and then, you know, take your time. But yeah. I don't like to give too much information,
Right.
because then it becomes a thing where it's like
Preachy.
you're not getting, not just preachy, but you're not getting your own information.
Right.
You're relying on others.
Because each journey is different.
Right.
Because you stumbled into it, I made a conscious decision.
Right.
Just do veganism the way that you feel like it's comfortable for you. Because some people are vegan adjacent, where they just do it once a week or maybe twice a week or things of that nature. Everything is a baby step, and as long as you take the journey, you know, you'll fall where you're supposed to be.
Yeah, and I've been vegan for 10 years, so people go, oh my God, that's amazing, but that's a long time of trial and error.
Yeah.
So my 2 years that I was raw, that was trial and error. It
Yeah.
didn't work. So then I went to cook foods, and then that trying to pack and cook and clean, like that, you know, like everything kind of shifts and changes. Like within my 5th year, I think, I had pizza,
Right.
like regular pizza, and like you're gonna relapse at some point
Absolutely.
for something, for some reason, even if it's only once or it's here and there. Or like when I'm on my cycle, I love chocolate. I'm like, can I please, like, somebody give me chocolate? Like, I'm such a, like, oh,
Right.
chocolate.
Right.
So like seriously, like you just have to know your body well enough to know what you're gonna be able to, what you're gonna crave, and then be able to fight it, and like give yourself permission to like have the mistakes
Right.
and make them and to do them. And literally, like, I use vegan shampoo, or I make my own, or like use shea butter and products to lotion myself. But maybe you just want to stick with food.
Right.
That's okay too. That still helps the animals,
Still helps
and that
the
still
animals.
helps the environment. Like you don't have to go full in.
Right.
Or like maybe you do food and you do your skincare products, but you don't do clothes.
Right.
That's okay too. You know,
Absolutely.
like take your steps, and because we live in a world where so many things are extreme and they're pushed down our throats, and it's just like when you push things down people's throats, they become overwhelmed, confused, pissed off, angry, and they want to fight back. It's just like you have to live in a zen type of state of mind to get shit done.
Absolutely. Well, thank you so much for being on Vegan Pop Eats. I learned a lot about you. And I'm glad that I introduced you to some good vegan food.
I'm gonna really smash this food when the camera is up, just so that you guys know.
Well, let me just take one more bite, because
really
she.
No, I mean, I'm not gonna eat the whole thing, but it was really
Let me just
good.
get one more bite.
Thank you, Honeybees. This is my meal for the day.
All right.
So yes.
Well, that's it. How amazing was Andrea? Now, being a vegan is all about having an open mind. It challenges you to be better for yourself, and it challenges you to be better for the environment. Until next time, I'm Angela Yvonne. This is Vegan Pop Eats, where meat is obsolete.